In this episode, we continue our coverage of the Halloween season by taking a look at some forgotten, spooky 90s playsets. So, stick around. Hello, fellow dorks and dorkettes, and welcome to Nostalgia Syndrome. My name is Rob, and in this episode, we will be taking a look at some forgotten and spooky 90s playsets. The one thing about 90s toys that kind of bum me out are that most of them are tied to various properties, mostly movies and TV. And there's a real lack of imagination that we saw in the 80s. So a lot of these spooky playsets are based on, like I said, movies and TV shows. But I guess at the end of the day, as long as you're having fun with these toys, it doesn't really matter where they come from. So anyway, without further ado, let's get to number one. Our first forgotten 90s playset comes from a beloved family movie, or a kids movie, or vice versa, whatever you want to say. But this movie is loved by a lot of people still to this day, and I honestly really liked it when it originally came out. Haven't seen it since then, but I'm sure it holds up. But anyway, this is Whipstaff Manor from the Casper movie. This was released by Trendmasters in 1997, and this is a miniature playset. See, miniature toys were all the rage in the 90s as well, and for a playset on a smaller scale, this thing is chock full of awesomeness. First thing, you get a ton of furniture with it. You also get 6 little minifigures. You get 2, the daughter and the father, and Casper. You also get the 3 ghost uncles. I always just assumed that they were his uncles or whatever. Now, since it's been so many years since I've actually seen the movie, I'm not even going to venture a guess of names or anything like that. But this also has a lot of really cool play features, and I'm going to consult the back of the box to go over what they are. First off, in the towers, it says you can slide open secret panels to find hidden rooms. That's pretty cool. Also, one of the towers is a haunted flashlight, which you can shine spooky shapes onto your wall. Stretch, that's one of the names of the ghosts. It says, check it out, Stretch disappears inside a secret tunnel. Put Fatso, another one of them, in the upstairs wardrobe, and he appears in the downstairs fridge. And a secret tunnel from the fridge leads outside to the graveyard. Very cool. Yes, the back of the mansion has a graveyard. Super spooky, super awesome. Next, it says, look, Dr. Harvey disappears behind the turning bookcase. Sorry, it's very small print, so bear with me. It says Casper and Cat explore a secret room beneath the stairs. See, all the names are now coming to me because they're written on the package. Thank goodness. Each ghost can get inside his own bed. Very comfy and cool. There's lots of removable features. Flip the TV screen to change the channel. Flip the clean tabletop over to reveal a sloppy after-dinner mess. And Casper's room has a haunted turning carousel and Ferris wheel. I mean, for a small size, this is chock full of accessories and features. And maybe that's why it's commanding such a high price point, still in package, on the secondary market. Because, I mean, this is a lot of stuff, a lot of easily lost things. So, if you're lucky enough to find it in package, I guess you are willing to pay a premium price for it. But anyway, I explained the best that I could, and I'm just really impressed with this little haunted house. It's super awesome. But allow the original commercial to air out any of the features or accessories that I missed talking about.
Where's the spookiest place around? Casper knows. It's Whipstaff Manor Funhouse. Drop on by if you dare. Frightful thrills are everywhere. Tons of secret hiding places. A tower shines batty faces. Be our guest. Make a mess. Lots of silly ghostly pests set their traps. It's a blast at Casper's Whipstaff Manor. Casper's Whipstaff Manor comes with everything you see here. Batteries not included.
Our second forgotten 90s playset is from a movie franchise that I really enjoyed. It seemed to be the spiritual successor to the Indiana Jones movies, at least at that time period. At least that's how it felt. Anyway, this is from the Mummy movie, and this is an altar. This was released by Toy Island in 1998, and this playset actually attaches to two other playsets that were offered that we'll probably talk about down the road at another time. Anyway, this altar playset is really cool. It comes with a Mummy and O'Connell figures, and the O'Connell figure, even though it doesn't look very posable, comes with two 6-shooters, which, hey, that's awesome enough in my opinion. But the Mummy, once you lay him on the altar, there's a little tab in the back of his head, which I'm assuming, looking at this altar, it's got a little nub there, that it has light up eye features and spooky sounds. Now, I don't know what it sounds like. I assume it's just a lot of gravelly mummy noises, but that's pretty cool. It also has a little book at the foot of the altar that you can actually change some of the pages of. It actually has a secret door that you push down the little hanging candelabra thing and the door will spin open. Super cool. There's a bass statue over in the corner. I mean, this thing is chock full of personality for a not very big playset. I mean, this is just a little L-shaped. You get a wall, a floor, an altar, and a couple little accessories that are built into it. But, I mean, like I said, it's got a lot of personality for what it lacks in actual size. Now, it surprises me what price this goes for on the secondary market. I mean, I know Brendan Fraser and even the Mummy movies themselves have made a comeback in recent years. So maybe that's kind of spurring the high price point, or just it's cool and people want to add it to their collection. Either way, I think it's a nice little play set, and it is definitely spooky enough to make it onto the Halloween season list. Our third playset comes from a cartoon series that aired on Fox Kids, and it has the distinction of being DreamWorks' very first animated series. It was executive produced by Steven Spielberg, and it was the cartoon Toonsylvania. The playset is Igor's Dungeon Playset, and it was released by Toy Island in 1998. Now, this is a playset with a lot of electric features, it seems. It actually comes with an Igor figure, and you actually strap him upside down into this little torture device thing. You can hook a little electric line to him, and when you flip the switch, it lights up and it vibrates. I guess to give you the impression that he is being electrocuted while being hung upside down. From what I've seen, this actually clips together with some of the other playsets in this toy line, which is surprising that for something that only ran for 2 seasons, it has a fair amount of toys attached to it. I guess with it being DreamWorks' first foray into animated series, they decided to go whole hog and throw everything and see what sticks. Unfortunately, it didn't really stick that well. Now, a neat little thing about Toonsylvania was that it was attached to Erie, Indiana repeats and the Goosebumps TV show. So you got this little horror block on Fox Kids, and yeah, that's something that I think is really missing from TV today. Horror-inspired entertainment for kids. I mean, how else are you going to get kids hooked on horror? You got to start somewhere. But anyway, Igor's Dungeon playset is very inexpensive on the secondary market. I mean, I don't know if there's a lot of people out there that even remember the Toonsylvania cartoon, let alone are actively collecting the toys from it. But it definitely has a presence online, which that's pretty cool to see. Our fourth forgotten 90s playset isn't attached to anything, but was very heavily inspired by a very popular toy line at the time. These are things that go bump in the night. Things with a Z, mind you. And we actually talked about these in a past 90s monster episode. But this time we're talking about the playsets that were released for these little collectible monsters that are very much inspired by Monster in My Pocket. But anyway, these playsets, there were 4 in total, and they were called Scene Setters. And they were released by FIFA in 1998. Now, these little scene setters, you get different rooms of a house. You have a bathroom, a kitchen, things like that you can set up your little things that go bump figures on them. It's just a very cool feature of displaying your little monster toys. Now, there were other things released for this toy line that we'll talk about in the future that were really cool and really showed that they were really shooting for the stars with this toy line. They really had high expectations for it. And unfortunately, it fizzled. There were reports that a second wave was to be released, but from what I can see, it never saw the light of day. It never saw the light of day, which is kind of unfortunate. Even though it's heavily inspired by Monster in My Pocket, you can't have enough monsters, especially little tiny PVC monsters. I mean, you could put them anywhere and everywhere. Anyway, the one thing about these scene setters is I think they are truly forgotten because I can't find any real info on them. It seems like there's only 4 pictures of these scene setters, and these same 4 pictures appear on like a fandom site, appear on a couple toy collector sites. I mean, everyone's just recycling the same 4 pictures. So I don't know how prevalent these were back in the day, but they definitely don't have any footprints nowadays, and that's kind of sad. Our 5th and final forgotten 90s spooky playset comes from the Saban show, Big Bad Beetleborgs. Yeah, that's a tongue twister. Took me a couple tries. Anyway, I remember kind of half-heartedly watching this show because I really dug Power Rangers at the time, but it definitely wasn't as cool, and it definitely didn't have the lasting appeal that Power Rangers had. Anyway, this is Haunted Hillhurst House. Another tongue twister. Whew. And Bandai released it in 1997. Now, this playset seems to be mostly cardboard, but there are a couple plastic pieces that have definite play features attached to them. One is you have a staircase that you can turn into a slide, and it has this awesome skeleton printed on it. You have this statue over on the side that is holding up, I believe, a balcony, or it could be an elevator. You know how playsets love elevators. Can't really tell. Now, I have seen a couple of them while searching for this, and the cardboard is definitely seen some better days. But the one thing that seems to have survived that it looks like collectors seem to want are the figures that this playset came with. It came with 5 figures in total. You have all the different monster denizens of the Hillhurst house. A werewolf, a Frankenstein, a Dracula, a mummy, and you have, I believe this guy was like their Zordon, this blue Jay Leno looking dude, but you get his figure too. Now, I found a commercial, a very rare commercial apparently, for this toy, and I have to say the kids that are in it are kind of jerks because they are taking great glee in torturing the blue Jay Leno guy. And yeah, unfortunately, I don't remember any of the names from the show or anything like that, but I think they say his name like 100 times in the commercial, like Flubber or Flabber or something like that. But anyway, this goes for a pretty penny on the open market, still in package. But like I said, the ones that are opened and played with seem to have seen better days because the cardboard pieces are battered to heckin' back. But anyway, let's take a look at the commercial and then we'll head back for me to finish this up.
Oh man, I told you the Beetleborgs house was haunted. Whoa, check it out. A haunted house playset, just like the show, with all the house monsters and Flabber. Cool, collapsing stairs. Hold on to the railing, Flabber. On your way down. Hey, look, a revolving bookcase.
Beetleborgs Haunted House playset comes with monsters and Flabber. New Beetleborg metallic section figures, each sold separately. Bandai, action to satisfaction.
Okay folks, that was a look at 5 forgotten 90s playsets that kind of have a spooky tinge to them for the Halloween season. And like I said, most of these, other than the things that go bump in the night, are all attached to either a TV show or a movie. And yeah, like I mentioned, the 90s, it seemed like they went for a lot of sure bets and, you know, used properties that were already established, than actually using their imagination to create new and unique toy lines like we saw in the 80s. But like I also mentioned at the beginning, if people were having fun with them, it doesn't matter where they came from. Toys are toys, and toys are fun, and either it be from Casper, Beetleborgs, what have you. If some kid had fun with it at some point in history, then it's an awesome toy. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. If you got something to say, please leave a comment. I love reading them, and I love getting back to everyone. And if you're new around here and you enjoyed this or any of the episodes that YouTube is recommending down here, please hit subscribe. And if you hit that little bell icon, you'll be notified whenever there's new episodes. So anyway, until next time, thank you for watching. Keep being rad and stay dorky.